Why does it feel like we've been this is our 1 year anniversary?
Pretty
much. But it felt like it was our 1 year anniversry about, I don't know, 6 months ago.
Do you know why? It's because we've done like 10 different things where we've had party poppers and like birthday hats and shit. That's why. I can't remember what it was for though at the time.
I genuinely can't remember.
I think one of them was the 1 million views.
Yeah, 1 million views.
But then there was another one.
There was another one for like Orders no surgery.
Something like that. I can't remember.
Orders clown mask.
No, I don't know. There was a couple. But update on Ord. He has successfully completed his transition. Join us for our 1 year anniversary episode of OTB. I'm not sure what we're up to. We've like done 40, a lot of stuff. It feels like 45? We're on episode 700.
45, I think.
Officially.
It's hard to count when Burks doesn't upload them on Spotify anymore. So normally he had like the episode numbers.
That was Order's job.
True.
Where are you, bro?
Where is Wood? We've got a fully stacked panel for you tonight. On my left, we have our United fan, Riyadh. Following him, we have a trio of bias. Here we go. Liverpool dominant panel tonight. We've got Becky, Burks,
loud and proud,
and Fikor. So this should be good. We are doing our Premier League predictions, what we're thinking for the year ahead, or the season ahead. But before we do that, boys, I think we should touch base on the Community Shield just a little bit. I mean, it's the first, I guess we could say, trophy of the season that's up for grabs. So Liverpool rocked up to Wembley with their shiny new signings, their shiny new kit, and their manager's shiny bald head.
Fantastic.
Crystal Palace spent the summer fighting UEFA to get into the Europa League, failed on that, and blocking phone calls from North London to Eze's phone. Succeeded so far on that end. But boys, let's get into this. I want to start with the beauty of the Ekitike goal. 22 passes, probing Palace's defence. Really, really good signs 4 minutes into your first proper game of the season, I'd say. What do you take of your attacking prospects and how they're looking? And yeah, maybe just go from there. Who's actually watched the game out of the three of you?
I've watched the highlights. Didn't watch the full game.
Watch the highlights. Becky watched the full game. Becky watched the full game.
And the replay.
Before we start with you, Riyadh, you watched the game.
I did watch the game.
Let's start with Riyadh's opinion.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea.
It's always a dangerous setup.
Yeah. As we predicted, to be honest, and we spoke about this last week, where there might be a lot of flair going up forward, especially with the new signings. I did like Ekitike. I was hoping he'd flop, but again, look, he actually did look good. Very classy player, very classy. Incredible on the ball. I like the way he sucks in defenders and just kind of, it's a little nice through ball. But yeah, Salah and Van Dijk were very underwhelming in this game. Very underwhelming. And the defense was a bit slow, in my opinion. So yeah, these are the concerns that you guys obviously mentioned. But other than that, I don't know if Crystal Palace is just a really well-drilled team, and Glasner's a great coach, but yeah, there's a bit of cracks. There was some cracks, and yeah.
Are you sure you watched the game?
Yeah, I watched the game. I did.
Nice, brief, concise summary.
Yeah, I don't want to waffle on. I'm not the Liverpool fan here. We've got three of them here, so they can
I just wanted your opinion as a neutral watching that game. What you saw and what you thought of what you were seeing. You know?
Yeah, look, I don't want to jump to conclusions. Obviously, players are rusty. It's pre-season. It's funny how, like, you know, a lot of Liverpool fans are like, it's the Community Shield. Who cares, bro? Who cares? But again, bro, any competitive game, it's like you want to win, and it kind of sets your season. So, but yeah.
Nice. I guess moving on to you guys. Moving on to you guys. Maybe Vicky, you take the floor. Like you said, you watched the game. You watched the replay of the game as well.
Inside out.
Maybe start with that first goal and the attacking threats you saw, and we can move on from there.
Yeah. I just want to say I've been already within the first few touches. I've been wowed by Wirtz already. Mm-hmm. He's got a certain kind of magic about him, the way he plays. It kind of reminds me when Thiago came in from Bayern. You can just tell he's just a natural footballer. I've never seen anyone thread passes with the ease that he threads, with the timing, the weight on the ball, everything's just so easy. He slows the game down. He's so good on the ball. Like I said, attacking wise, there was no concerns. Even the ball he fed to Ekitike, he fizzed that in really hard, and Ekitike took the most brilliant touch. Yeah. And the finish was just so cool. I think if that ball is fizzed into Nunes, I think he completely just does not take that chance in his stride at all. So from an attacking point of view, I was very encouraged by what I saw. We actually played really, really well. We could have finished the game. There was a couple of chances that were missed, including Wirtz. He did miss a very good chance. Gakpo, Salah as well. And I was talking to Kez about this. We were talking in the car before. As soon as the change was made to bring Ekitike off as a reference point, the game completely changed straight away. Now, Palace is deadly at counterattacks. They're kind of well set up for that. Glasner, I think, is a brilliant coach as well. As soon as we lost that number 9 reference point and that hold-up play, Palace started dominating on top. Eze was causing issues. Sarr was causing issues in behind with his pace. And Wharton kept playing the ball in behind the defence because he knew he can kind of like sense the nervousness of a defence that includes 2 new additions. So there's been a lot of changes. We didn't have Grav, who's normally our number 6. We had Jones in there, who looked quite uncomfortable.
So and don't forget, who was the midfield 3?
It was Jones, Sob, and
Maka, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Wirtz
as well. No, Maka came on. Wirtz started.
Wirtz, yeah.
Maka came in later on because he's not quite match fit yet. So we've lost. Look, we did gain a better player in Ekitike, but we did lose the pressing ability of Nunes, and we lost the pressing ability of Sob in the 10 as well. I think the stat is, from having done some research, in the 90 minutes against Palace, between both Wirtz and Ekitike combined, they only won 5 challenges in Palace's half.
Well, they won 3 centrally, 7 in total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So roughly around those numbers. So that, it needs work. Look, we said at the start, it's going to take time for this team to gel, to be tactically on point. Am I worried about it? No, I kind of expect it with so many changes. And for us, there's still changes to happen. There's still so many incomings and outgoings as well. So is it going to affect the title race? Maybe. I don't know. If it's game week 15 and with still the same issues, then I'm going to be obviously growing concerned. But for now, it's too small of a sample size to go either way. To be really ecstatic and go like, wow, we're really good, or to be, depressed and go, we're really shit. So small sample size. Congratulations to Palace. I thought they were brilliant, took their chances. The penalties from our side were terrible. I think I could have saved some of those, but all in all, Palace deserving winners. Congratulations.
Burks, you've seen the highlights. I'm not sure how much of this you would have seen. But Salah looked very isolated on the right-hand side. Wirtz and Ekitike both favour coming into the left. Do you think this will be something that's a problem during the season, having so many players shifting to the left-hand side, leaving Salah isolated on the right, or is it something you could take advantage of?
I reckon, for me, I feel like I'm most excited. This is kind of irrelevant to what we're talking about, but I'm most excited to see what Wirtz does this season because I feel like he can unlock a lot for the team. But I feel like it's not a bad thing that Salah might be, numbers-wise, he might have less output this season. I feel like we can just create more from just having Wirtz in the team alone. And if it means, Salah's bypassed in terms of his output, then I'd rather we score goals any way we can than have Salah being the more dominant player. I don't see it being an issue either. I still think Salah is going to be, he's older now, obviously, but I don't think his output has been halved or anything given season on season. He's not just completely become a completely different player, but I think it probably would still create the opportunity for him to get into space if they are sucking those players into the left-hand side, I reckon. But I think, with the additions of Wirtz and Ekitike alone, I think it's going to be, we're going to be, our attacking output is probably going to be still more than optimal. I don't think it's going to detract from anything just because Salah's almost out of the game, you could say. But I don't think it's going to cause too much of an issue. And I think he will still find his way to get the goals where he can when he has the opportunity in the space that he has.
I would say the issue is now more on the left because Gakpo to me is very predictable in what he tries to do. He will almost exclusively always go inside and either get a shot off or cross. So there's no width on that side, whereas Diaz used to mix it up. And now you've got Ekitike and Wirtz. They kind of tend to drift to the left as well. So that's kind of becoming too crowded and too predictable. Whereas space for Salah, I think is great, especially with Frimpong bombing up and down. He's gonna get a lot more space than what he's used to, which I think is great. But left for me is the concerning side.
I guess you touched on Diaz a little bit there. That's intensity that you are missing. Slobo in the 10, Jota, Nunez, these were all players that did harry and harass defenders. So that is something big to miss out on as well with the transfers you've made and Jota. So, just wanted to touch base on that, boys. Does anyone have anything else to add?
No, it'll be interesting because obviously there's been more talks that, more ins are coming in. Obviously they're targeting centre-backs. And it's like, are they targeting centre-backs now that they've seen Liverpool's performance against Palace? Or was that always in the back of their mind and it's just like it's a matter of timing?
I don't think Liverpool have ever been like a knee-jerk reaction type club. Like this would have been in the works for a while, especially if, like people like Richard Hughes and I've forgotten his name already. What's going on? What was his name again? I've cooked it.
Sorry, mate, can't help you yet.
What are you talking about, bro?
Ed Howard.
No, it's
Ed
not
Woodward.
Ed Woodward.
Not Ed Woodward, definitely. I've blanked out. You know what I'm
Ed
talking about.
Sheeran.
Eddie.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed and Eddie.
Yeah.
But yeah, like those operators, they would have had this in the works for ages. I don't think.
Michael
And
Edwards.
Michael Edwards, that's it. Fuck, I've cooked it. I don't know how I forgot his name. Apologies if you're
I
watching
love
this
how
evening or
Becky
not.
knew he just waited to.
Yeah, he
like,
did.
Just
He said, "I can't help you."
blubbering.
Should McGavin.
Yeah,
And-
I've also got another question. Sorry there, man. Obviously with the potential inclusion of two more centre-backs with Gahey and, what is it, Leone?
Giovanni
Leone,
Leone.
yeah.
Leone. Do you think that there's a slight chance that Liverpool might play with a back three? Or absolutely not?
I don't. I personally don't think that we will. Given
I personally think it'd be a joke if they did.
Yeah, I
They'd
don't,
turn
I don't
into
think,
United.
yeah, I don't think that would happen.
No?
I don't see. I don't see it happening.
happening.
Especially like we've just gotten Frimpong and
But-
Kirkes, so I'm not sure why it would turn into a three. And I don't see us using them as wing backs. So in all honesty,
But Gahey's obviously his like big turning point in order to sign was he's guaranteed game time.
Well, that's why he hasn't signed yet.
Okay. But let's be real. He will probably sign.
We don't know
It's a matter of
because
time. I
he's
think.
just said like he wants assurances over playing time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like,
and that's reported by David Ornstein.
and if they guarantee those assurances, then it's like he needs to play. And how do you fit him in?
The thing is, though, he's got to have an understanding too that he's just not going to break into that unit of two straight away.
Then why
Like,
sign?
surely you've.
Because you also got to
But
remember.
you're
when
signing
you're
like
thin,
a
we're
4
a
or
bit
5 year
thin.
deal. You're not going to be around just for, if you're going to get in or not. Eventually,
know.
Van Dijk is going to go and retire.
I
Konate might
agree.
go to Real. Like,
I agree, but you also got to remember and factor that this is a World Cup year, and it's like everyone wants minutes and everyone wants to be playing in the World Cup,
course.
and probably that's why he's like, you guys have to guarantee me game time or else I'm not signing.
but he's also part of a club that's playing in multiple competitions, so there will be minutes,
Yeah.
a lot of minutes up for grabs, and that's banking on the fact that there's going to be no injuries to that back line. Konate might get injured game week 1, and there's your in straight away.
Which happens
Straight away,
often too. Like it's not like he's not injury prone either. He'll have his opportunity
He's 25. I thought he was much older.
coming into his
Gahey.
squad. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, like these are the risks that you take if you're a player that wants to step up and be a part of a regular Champions League playing team. These are like, if you believe you're good enough, you're eventually going to break into that team.
Correct.
You've got to have that mindset. Like,
No,
you can't go in with a mindset of like, oh, I might not be in that team. Like, that's a shit mindset. I don't think Premier League players would have that mindset. They'd be like, fuck you, I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into that team.
Do you know what's funny? Now that I mentioned that it's a World Cup year, like what happens with Chelsea and their massive squad?
I think it works better for them, to be honest, because every player is going to be wanting to play in that shirt, starting 11, want to show
Well,
themselves.
all 112 of them.
Yeah, well,
Literally.
it
But that's the thing.
creates.
You can only play one player in a certain position
I think it
at
creates
a certain
good, healthy
time.
competition. I don't know, LP. What are your thoughts?
I don't know, man. Like healthy competition is one thing, but like Riyad's saying, this just because this is a World Cup year, everyone's going to be wanting assurances over playing time, and they want to be getting into the 11.
Honestly, but
Yeah.
this shouldn't be a year that you want to play in the World Cup in. That's my opinion. Given where it's at, I don't know, but
Anyway, political views
that's
aside.
different. Yeah.
But everyone
But
wants
like,
to play.
For
Yeah.
Chelsea, for example, man, they're saying Garnacho and Xavi Simons, like that's two players that are in the left
Yeah.
on the left wing, but then they also signed Giddens and like these are all players that play in that same position. So I don't know, man. It could work out for him. Could not. Who knows? It's only something.
Pedro Neto already gone.
He plays on the right now.
After 4 games, bro.
Plays on the
João
right.
Pedro, Delap. Like
Yeah.
they've got so many players. Now that I think about it, it's like
Unreal.
I can't wait till that Garnacho, here we go, to Chelsea. I hope he rots on the bench.
Are
but
Chelsea
yeah.
like the English Saudi?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Players just
well,
go for a paycheck, basically.
Pretty much.
but
8
they
years
don't even get
contract.
paid.
It's not even
It's
a
the
paycheck.
contract. I reckon it's security, and knowing that because they're on low wages, they can move on to some other club.
Didn't they like change the structure around how you could amortize
Yeah,
deals?
they give like 7-year contracts.
So it's still 7.
Yeah, they
I
give
thought it was
7.
reduced
yeah.
to even
Because
more.
sure,
less
as a
than
player, you don't
that.
go
Far
there
out.
for career progression.
No.
Surely it's not about that.
Don't know, but a lot of players have moved on from Chelsea to bigger clubs and to bigger things.
They have made good sales. Like their business has been good regardless
Yeah.
of whether these
To
players
Saudi.
play or not. Not even to Saudi, just across
No.
Europe, bro.
But yeah, speaking about transfers, boys, let's just run through a couple. I mean, I'm going to leave the biggest one for last, but Riyad Sesko's done.
Sesko's done. Yeah, I'm happy about it. I'm excited because it's a new striker. He's got a lot of potential to be world class. He's only 22, 23. Yeah, 22. And I think we've signed him at a right time. It's like it's harder
Right time for who?
For him or for
for
you guys?
Sesko.
Okay.
We've signed him at a right time in his career. If we signed him the same time we signed Højlund, he would have failed, without a doubt.
So you reckon he's just like, he's now gone like one step above where he was, and now he's playing to get into a bigger team, a better team?
Yeah, so obviously, there was an interview a couple of years ago where,
Fantastic. Fantastically worded.
look. There was an interview a couple of years ago where they asked him, "Are you ready to sign for a club like United?" And he goes, "No, I'm a couple of years away." And the couple of years
actually
just come,
about
and he signed,
Because
for
he really
United.
wanted to go to Arsenal.
But I think it's the environment that's around him. It's what signings what we've made that will complement him to succeed.
so it's the right time
So-
for both the club and him, do you think?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So look, it's exciting. There's a lot of potential there. I'm hoping it's not another flop for Manchester United.
I've got you in my predictions for one thing.
Wishful thinking.
I know probably most improved, but anyway.
That's not a category.
Is
but
there
it's
a
all right.
world, if you could pick any striker, is there a world where you would pick, let's say if he was still available, Gyökeres over Šeško, and why?
The reason why I would have chosen Gyökeres is because he's worked with Amorim.
That doesn't
Just
mean much
that.
though.
Hey,
Just that.
and
nothing
his
else.
figures are incredible.
Yeah.
His figures are unreal
Dude,
compared to Sesko scoring 13 goals.
I mean, I guess I could
last
ask the
season.
same question
I
of
was just
Alpi.
gonna say,
Yeah.
there is a world where I'd take Sesko over Gyökeres.
Yeah. For what reasons?
Predominantly just it suits our style of play more, so we wouldn't have needed to adapt. I think we're going to change our style of play quite a lot.
Okay.
And I think there's going to be a bit of like a betting in period for that to happen. But we'll see.
No more haram ball, huh?
No, I think we'll get that a lot. But
For the start of the season,
No,
you think?
just in general. But our transitions and our counters will be
Can you
ruthless.
imagine the set pieces if these guys got Sesko?
Yeah, 65. And Norgard and just chuck everyone in there, bro.
Everyone cornering, inshallah.
Fuck it.
Lean into it.
But Donnarumma.
Donnarumma.
Yeah,
Huge.
and the biggest thing is he is not a Pep goalkeeper, but City look front runners.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I don't think he's a Pep goalkeeper at all. Like,
No.
I don't know.
But he gives Pep something he doesn't have, and that is a brilliant shot stopper.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
a fantastic keeper. You can't get past like the fact that he is a fantastic goalkeeper. He's 25, 26. He's already been
25.
playing-
So young, bro. I
He's been
forget
playing
that.
senior football for 10 years.
Because
bro.
he started about 16, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he was-
the
AC Milan
first team.
starting
He was
keepers.
like
Yeah.
one of the youngest players to start in the Serie A, I believe, and it was 15 years,
16.
16.
Crazy.
There you
Yeah,
go.
16.
I have such
So
a low
he's-
opinion of myself now. What did
Bro,
I
he's
do
been
when I was
playing- He's been
16?
playing senior football for that long.
Didn't even know how to kick a ball at
And
16.
it's just sad because it seems that he's left both his teams in not the best of fashions, and Luis Enrique came out and said, I'm the reason that he's leaving."
Yeah.
It's my decision. I
Yeah,
know.
but
my
that's
decision.
just
I think
him
that's
taking.
just I think that's just like, all right, pin it on me. Let's
Yeah,
move
yeah,
on.
yeah.
You know, which is fantastic. I think that's great management. But for Riyad to be G'd up about Donnarumma,
I was
Oh,
J'd
no,
up.
that was
I was
amazing.
J'd
I
up
think
because
that
it's like, wow, a world class keeper on the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's like we can afford his wages. Sure, it's Man United, bro. What does he want? 250, 300?
Give it to him.
We can afford it. But then you got to be realistic at the same time.
There's another club in Manchester that's better. That's why.
Correct. That are playing multiple competitions, Champions League, who are,
And it's such a,
definitely ahead of us.
we were
in
talking
terms
about it
of,
earlier today, how he was saying it doesn't make sense, and because he's not a Pep type of goalkeeper. But it's like sometimes Pep's transfers doesn't make sense, as you said.
Yeah,
It's
none of that makes sense.
He'll go for it because it's the best keeper available.
In terms of, I don't know, do you know, if you were a player and it's like, all right, do I sign for a team that's already playing, top class football, they're in all competitions, or do I go to a club where I can transform them and be
Are you talking about United?
Yeah, I'm talking about United.
I thought he was
and I can be looked, and I can
City.
and I can be looked as like a hero. Like I'm the keeper that turned United back into this big powerhouse again.
Can I ask you, genuine question? Why do you think every signing that United makes is going to be like this big thing instrumental into the success
Second
and
coming
restoring United back to this former glory? Why is it that every signing is going to be like this massive thing?
You know why? I think it's because that's how it used to be.
No, it wasn't.
It did, but
Hold on,
disregard these last few managers.
This is
when
leading
no,
Right,
when back in Fergie's time when we
No,
signed.
we can't talk about Fergie's
Maybe
time, bro.
that's what I mean. Maybe that's where it comes from.
But in a post-Fergie world,
that's
that
where
hasn't
it
happened at
stems
all,
from.
bro.
Maybe that's where it stems from. Like we go and sign Van Persie and he comes and he wins the league, or we sign an Owen for a year, or what was it, a year or two, and he wins the league, and it's just like, wow. Like these players are coming and they're going to
still haven't accepted their new identity.
Mate, that's genuinely it. But like United fans, I think it's like you guys used to rail Liverpool fans and any other fan who had any history as like, oh, history. We don't worry about what happened in the past, blah blah blah. But that's United now.
Yeah, absolutely, we're still living.
You're still stuck in the Ferguson era, but that
we
guy
are.
He's gone.
And
finished.
unfortunately,
He's still with us.
that
He's
will
with us,
never
but he's
change.
Not at the club.
I don't
Is he in the room
I
right
don't
now?
think Fergie's era. I don't think
Watching a
Fergie's era
whole
will ever
era
change.
unfold in front of your eyes.
Poor guy going week in, week out, just seeing it crumble in front of him.
Going to like a stadium that's like leaking water.
I don't think Fergie's era will ever change. I don't think. Like,
What do you mean by that?
In what aspect?
in what aspect? In aspect that he got United to the pinnacle,
But that's
the
his- that's what I
biggest
mean, that's
club
history.
in England.
That's history. though.
Yeah, and it dumbfounds me where you got players who have, interest from other clubs who are quite, more successful, in the recent history, who are playing Champions League, who can potentially,
Which players are you talking about?
I'm talking about like Cunha and Mbeumo, even Sesko, for instance. It's like they have had interest from other clubs that are playing, Champions League, but no, we want to play for Manchester United. We want to play for this jersey.
They end up, except Cunha. Cunha, I'll give you, because Cunha, no one else was really in for Cunha, and he just from the.
I'm not going to go over this. I'm not going to
from
go
the
over this because
get-go.
we spoke about
But,
this last week.
Bro, these players that you talk about, they're left with no other real options, and like the,
not true,
the
man.
bigger teams around you, like the bigger teams that are around, have their pick and got their player,
Yeah.
and now they're left. Like Sesko's left with what, Newcastle, where Isaac's starting. He didn't come to Arsenal because Havertz is starting. You know what I mean? But he's going to go there contest. Isaac.
That was a season before that.
But
essentially,
that's
it's
what
like,
I mean. Like he's
that was
going to
last
contest
season.
Isaac, but
it's
now
like you
he's
got
like.
your plan A, plan B, plan C, and then it's like Cunha. Was he
left?
really?
Yeah.
Was Cunha really your plan A? Is what you're.
What I
Yeah,
mean. Like,
yeah.
like, but these players just end up at United. But you guys act like you've taken them from
Yeah.
other clubs.
Yeah.
and
They
that
chose
they
United.
chose
Yeah.
United. I don't think any of these players chose United. And Mbeumo would have definitely gone to Liverpool before you guys, but Salah's there. He definitely would have come to Arsenal. Saka's there.
It's not true.
No, but there's
It's not true.
It's so definitive.
It's actually not true.
Bro, you're not factoring in. You're not factoring in
But this goes
all
back-
the different variables.
No,
It's
no,
not
I-
just-
I
it's
do
like
factor
Albie
all
said,
the
it doesn't mean
variables.
that just because you've got them, they wanted to go there.
I
That
do.
was their final
We're
These-
having a
destination.
45 minute
these
United
play-
chat.
these
No,
guys-
we're not. I'm going to wrap it up soon. But like,
These guys can play for whoever they want. They
but they're
can.
not
I
going to
don't think
start.
they-
But the
No.
thing is,
Deja vu.
they're clearly and this goes back to what I was trying to say before. It's like I'm signing to a club and I could potentially be seen as a hero for years on end because I'm the player that was involved in turning Manchester United back into a powerhouse. And
Or-
I think that's where a lot of these players' mindset
What's
is
the
at.
powerhouse? 10th?
No. Like top, the pinnacle, winning the Premier League again. Competing in the Champions League again.
Or is
Yeah.
it just like
You
a?
heard it here first.
And it doesn't
Why not
happen-
go to United? Like, Why not? Sort of,
Make
that
money, yeah.
attitude.
But also the fact that you're missing that every player that goes to United, it's not just they're playing for a bigger club. Their social platform blows up. Sponsorships. It's like
But none of
they're on
that's football
everyone's.
related.
But see, just on
And
this
that's not
topic
related
alone,
to Man United success either.
Just on this topic alone, like you guys got Sesko, fantastic signing, don't get me wrong, but even his first preference was Arsenal. So, like that, all of your discussion about like these players are choosing you guys, it's like it all comes down to why not go to United? That's.
Can you imagine sitting down with Gyökeres and going, look, we can't guarantee you any trophies, but swear to God, your Instagram's going to blow up. Plus, you can be the hero. We'll build you a statue, brother.
And you might get an Adidas sponsorship. Who knows? Maybe you'll win boot.
At the end of the day, as a United fan, you have to be a believer.
A believer.
You have to be a believer.
We're not even going to talk about him because that is the most
believer is a
You have
fantastic
to be
segue.
a believer.
Speaking about transfers, while we've got the three of
was
you
clever.
and strikers, Isaac is refusing to play for Liverpool.
Right, he's huge.
Newcastle, sorry.
Huge.
Yeah.
He's already done it.
He's refusing to play for Newcastle. Like,
Hasn't
he's
even joined
down
yet.
tools. He's literally said he won't come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a way to burn bridges.
Similarities with Trent.
No, I don't think so. But go on. Go on.
Similarities with Trent.
Go on.
What's your take on Isaac burning bridges to come to Liverpool?
Can I want to talk about the mirroring between Trent. It's a completely different story.
Don't
You
take the
can't-
bait, brother. You've just
No, but we have to spell it out for the audience too.
Yeah,
Whoever's
go on,
watching.
spell it out. Tell me. Two players.
Trent was born, raised in Liverpool.
Yep.
Came through the academy.
Mhm.
He was there his whole life.
Giving you everything.
He won every trophy he could win with
Absolutely.
us. They don't ever gave us everything. There's questionable how much he does at the back post. But anyway, came, won everything he needs to win. He can win at a club level,
Yeah, and then left.
and then left on a free. He did nothing to secure a transfer. Nothing.
10 mil.
Whatever.
Well,
10,
to
10
be
mil so he
fair-
could play at the Club World Cup.
Real Madrid offered you guys money for him. You
Yeah,
guys
they
knocked
did.
it back.
What,
guys
30
not-
mil or 40 mil or something?
Take it.
If he's
Why
going.
would you?
If he's going.
If he's considered one of the best right backs in the world,
But if
one of
he's
the best
going-
fullbacks in the world, I'd push for more if I could. I'd try and secure.
But then you got-
If I was him, I would say I'm going to leave my club on better terms. Sign a deal, sign an extension,
How much better terms can there be than winning every trophy possible?
give us a transfer fee.
But now you guys are just being picky.
What is that? It's not though. This
And also, it's not his fault that you guys ran his transfer out.
Regardless of transfer
his
fee, though,
contract out.
the club, right? They might have done a bit wrong there too in not securing his extension earlier on. But let's put money aside. He was born and raised in Liverpool. Isaac has come to Newcastle.
Yep.
They paid 50, 60 million for him at the
Yep.
time. He's
What a
come
bargain.
into the club. He's not been born and raised at the club. Completely different story. That's the biggest distinction we need to make. I think you can't compare them as apples and apples.
Arguably, he's
comparisons.
done just as much for Newcastle, though. He's helped them win their
He's won
first
the-
trophy.
first trophy in how many
60
years? Yeah, that's,
He's been the face of their program.
but it's still not a one-to-one comparison. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't weigh up that situation to what is happening
All I'm
right
saying
now.
is these are two players that are downing tools. Well, Trent didn't even really down tools, but
just left.
these are two players that don't want to play at their current club, looking to go to another club. And it was so bad when Trent did it to go to Madrid, but now it's like Isaac's doing it for
But
us.
for these reasons, that's what I'm saying to you. It's
Come
not
here,
a one-to-one
baby boy.
comparison.
I
You
don't feel the
can't-
same. I don't feel the same.
I don't think you could say.
I mean,
it's the same
depends
thing.
on what you. I had a chat to Riyad about it last night.
Yes.
Depending on what you want to believe, but Isaac told Newcastle at the end of the last season,
Yeah, that too.
I want to go to a club that can potentially win a Premier League or a Champions League. You guys sort it out. You wanted me to stay one more season. I did. If you can secure your signings, I would like to leave if possible. Again, this may be bullshit or not. I don't know. Nobody knows the story. But there's always two sides to every story. Newcastle have been terrible at securing any signing.
Yeah.
I think they've been rebuffed by every single target they've had.
Which is crazy.
That's not Isaac's problem. He's told them his conditions and his terms. If Newcastle can't meet him, he's obviously cracked the shits. Now, he's probably taken it too far, and I feel like Newcastle handled it badly as well by sending him home alone.
Well, he's,
to sort of-
he's homeless now.
Yeah, he doesn't have
No,
anything.
he's staying-
He's even
he's-
sold his
He's
house.
staying with
Yeah,
an unnamed
Newcastle.
Italian friend.
He's getting ready for life in
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Right, there you go.
So homeless on the
I
streets.
feel like Newcastle could have handled it better. I feel like him and his agent could have handled it better.
Yeah.
In the end, I don't see him going back to Newcastle, but we've got to stump up the money because is there a situation where we don't stump up the money? He stays at Newcastle, but they just don't play him.
Yeah.
So for a
Yeah,
season,
there is
for
definitely-
12 months, he
That
does
is a possibility,
nothing.
Six
yeah.
months till
Yes.
January.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
definitely a possibility that happens.
Yeah, there is a possibility, but I always like to think. I always say like this. I feel like it's a bit positive thinking. But I feel like Eddie Howe would want to win him back and be like, mate, like,
Oh,
all right.
naturally.
we haven't sold you yet.
We'll give you a Katika. If you're struggling with a 9,
You're still
you give us
a
Isaac.
fantastic striker. Like, play for me. Yeah, you want to leave? Fair enough. We couldn't get it done. Differences aside, let's just go
But
and win
again,
some games.
this goes back to what I was trying to say
Back to
before.
Absolutely.
No. It's a World Cup year. You want to
You
play,
want to
bro.
play. You
Well,
want
I mean,
to
can't
he's
just be
already
put
lost
on
his
the
spot
bench.
to Goik
Yeah, well, I don't know.
in the Swedish
See,
team.
again, and he's competing against one of the biggest strikers in the
Putting
world.
this out to everyone, who's
So it's
got,
like, hey, you don't want to play with us? Sure, you're staying and you're sitting on the bench for fucking 6 months. You little, and I swear to God, I'll do the same thing with Garnacho. But yeah, keep going.
Go on.
putting it to everyone, who do you think has the power chip here out of the 3 parties?
I'd say Newcastle.
Newcastle, bro.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle, because they
Newcastle.
own his, obviously, rights to play, like the contract. You know, when players buy their own contract out, like, at the end of the day, Newcastle not selling him, it's only going to be damaging his career. It's going to be damaging his chances to get into the Swedish national team.
Not just that, also his reputation.
His reputation
Like, he
as
just
well.
looks like a prat.
And what he does to Newcastle, it shows everyone else, hey, we're not here to be reckoned with.
I
Like
think
you want to play tough, you want to play rough.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
What does the exclusion mean for Newcastle as a club, points-wise, in the Premier League?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Because
dropping points.
You're removing how many goals from that side?
Yes.
23.
Like I said, they're removing goals, but like I said, I think what Newcastle is doing are probably what every club should be doing. Because I feel like if you contracted, if he's still your player, yeah, you couldn't get a deal done, but it's like sometimes things don't work out, and we still need to keep a player that we were intending to
Absolutely.
sell. So I actually think
I mean-
Newcastle are doing what every club
Yeah.
would be
We-
doing.
I think
We
right
they
saw it
banked on
with-
him not taking it this far because of his personality.
Yeah.
They didn't think he
Yeah.
would take it all this way. They risked going, you know what,
Absolutely.
if we don't sign a striker, he'll be okay. We'll talk to him.
Yeah,
he
he'll
might
stay.
stay for another season, and then next season he'll go.
I think
When we
also
line up our
Newcastle are
replacements.
saving good face here, considering obviously they couldn't get a lot of signings done this transfer window. Obviously they lost out to a few players. And I feel like if they were to just cave in and just say yes to
It would be an
the
absolute
lower bid,
disaster of
they'd be
a transfer window.
They'd be like, oh, we've been the absolute losers of this transfer window.
Yeah,
but now they're like,
already
you know
out
what? If you want him, come and pay what you
It'd
want.
be like,
What we want.
just to reference, it'd be like Arsenal when we were terminating contracts for everyone, like Aubameyang, Lacazette, not Lacazette, sorry, but Aubameyang, Socrates, Ozil, like we're just terminating contracts and players were getting all these players off us for free. So it'd be similar to that, and people will just start taking the piss out of Newcastle when it comes to transfers. But
I mean, but by the same token, if a player's under contract at a club and the new coach, let's say, or doesn't fancy him, they'll just move them on, ruthless.
Yeah.
So what's to stop players from doing the same? Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, contracts mean little. Let's be honest.
I think from the club side, contracts mean a lot because clubs feel like they have the power when they have a contract with the player. So if a club doesn't want a player like Garnacho at the moment with Amorim, he doesn't want him. He's just going to be like, all right, well, phase him out, get rid of him. But when Garnacho does it, it's like, how can you do this to the institution of Manchester United? Blah blah blah. You know what I
Greatest
mean?
club in the world.
Yeah. But boys, time for some spicy stuff. Let's get into our predictions. Yeah,
Huge.
I feel like we've warmed up.
Kick us
That
off.
was a good warm up. God.
Are we starting with top 4, or are we going to leave that for? Let's start with top 4.
Start with it. You
top
dictate.
6 or top
You direct
4?
us.
Top 4.
Direct us.
Top 4. Let's start with the top 4, and we'll take a 5th at the end, just in case
that's-
5th is UCL as well. Yeah.
I thought top 6 is more relevant because it's all European football.
Well, top 7 is European football.
Technically,
and
yeah.
FA Cup's European football.
So we're playing European football next year. Yeah, all right.
You just want to include United, yeah?
Wow.
Yes, I do actually.
Oh, we can do your
Let's go top 6.
Your
Let's go
top
top
6.
6.
I've only got a top 4.
Let's just keep it with top
It's like,
4 because
it's like
Riyadh
1 year
doesn't
ago
get
all
the
over
same.
again.
Yeah, it's the same as every other
Bro,
year.
I know. It's just like
Every year the same
Riyadh
thing.
City's going to take a back seat this year. Oh, bro, I'm going to kick
Yeah,
back.
then they sign 3
I
players.
am. I'm taking
They
it back.
signed Sesko, all of a sudden they're going to win the league.
We didn't sign Donnarumma.
That
We're back.
first game against Arsenal is going to be so juicy.
I don't know. I don't think it will.
I can't
I
wait.
can't wait for the weekend.
And for our 1 year
Unreal.
anniversary, and we're in the same
Mock
jacket that
grey.
we did a year ago.
Nice,
Which
very
one?
nice.
Thank you very much.
Boys, who do you have in? Well, Riyadh, run us through your 6 and 5.
I'll go through my
Just
my,
your 6 and 5.
my 6 and 5.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I mean, do you guys have 5 or 4?
I've
I haven't
got
even written it down, to
four.
be
I've
honest.
written
I
it
don't-
down,
Yeah, I've
but
got
I've
4
got
as
four.
well.
So-
I've
I've
got 4. I don't want to really
Free ball.
talk through 6.
Yeah. Go just do your 6 and 5, and then do your 4.
All
and
right.
then we'll do the 4
Do
together.
your 17 and then United.
Good right. So for my fifth, I've gone Newcastle.
Six. Start with six.
Six. For six, I've gone Man United. For my sixth, I've gone Man United.
I love you, bro. I love you.
We're jumping up.
And this is me being humble. And this is me being humble. With the inclusions that we've obviously added to bolster our squad, potentially another one or two signings. Amarim having a pre-season, the team looking fit, getting rid of the all these egos, these massive egos in our club. I feel like I feel like six is a respectable position where it brings us back into European football, and it's definitely a much
What's your
improvement.
For
What's
context,
the
last
basis?
season you were 23 points off 6.
What's my basis is that
23 points.
the other 15, 14 clubs haven't done as well as United
But
in the
they were
transfer
so
market.
far ahead of United.
Yeah.
As a team, as a club, they were all so far ahead of you.
Look,
guys.
it's a 1 year. It's a freakish year. I don't think will ever happen again.
Do you think you're better than Spurs?
I believe we are better than Spurs.
They just
Absolutely.
beat you in a Europa League final.
Yeah, I know, but it means nothing.
But it means nothing.
It means nothing.
I mean,
it means nothing. It's great.
Spurs have strengthened as well. They've
They have.
also got a better
They have.
manager
Anyway,
than you guys.
yeah.
Yeah. With I've always ranked Thomas Frank.
He's better than Amarim.
No, because if he was better than Amarim, then United would have gone for Frank.
I mean,
Because
that's
there
what-
was talk
like,
that we were going to
can't-
sign
He
Frank.
was at a
We
bigger
can't
club, though.
categorically say that's true because the managers you've had before Amarim aren't better than Thomas Frank.
Yeah, but you're also going to remember Thomas Frank had been playing with his specific Brentford squad for a while, so the chemistry was there, and that's why every other were getting better and better slightly.
So you're saying
But
United make sixth because
we make it because we've had a good transfer window.
Yep.
and Amarim's got United playing a certain way.
Fair enough.
Okay. Back to the Spurs. I feel like Frank is a good manager, but they were used to playing Ange Ball for a couple of years now, where I think it's going to take him some time to like dilute all this attacking like threat that they've played with for the last 2 years in order to get the right balance. So yeah, that's where I think they might struggle a bit.
Are we doing turns or are we doing...
No,
Well, I mean,
I
he's just doing six.
I'm doing six. So I've got 6 United,
Okay.
5th Newcastle. I still feel like Newcastle got a really good squad.
Okay.
Yes, they probably lose Isak, but they'll probably lose him for 150 mil, maybe close to it, and they will sign a few more players.
Fair enough.
So yeah,
Let's get into the interesting stuff now. Perks, who do you have in fourth?
Fourth, I'm going to say just out of sheer volume of players that they have, I feel like Chelsea could do it. I reckon they're going to crack into the top 4 this year.
they have to.
Does anyone else have Chelsea in fourth?
I do. I've got
I've got
Chelsea
them in
as
my
fourth.
top 4 in my head. I haven't written anything down, but
They're up there.
I'm...
Now you got to go. Tell us who's your 4th, 3, 2, 1.
What have you done?
I'm saying
Who's going to win the league?
I'm going as far as to say,
Who's going to finish second?
I'm going to go as far as to
Who's
say
gonna
that
finish third?
Chelsea will finish 3rd.
Wow.
That's what I reckon.
So who's going to finish fourth?
I'll let
Who's going to finish fourth, brother?
That's my fourth. That's my fourth.
That's your 4th.
That's my fourth. I said Chelsea.
Interesting.
Why do you reckon Chelsea will finish fourth just because they got a lot of players?
I just think they've got and they've been playing fairly decent football. Like they've got something in play happening. They've got the squad depth to be able to compete in every single competition that they're in. I don't see it.
I don't think they can rotate players anymore, though.
What do you mean?
Well,
Why?
it's not the Conference League where they can rotate 2 squads for Premier League and their European competitions.
I mean, they still have 10,000 players.
I understand, but they're going to have to play their best players in the Champions League and in the Premier League.
Yeah, I suppose. But I still think they have enough quality to be able to rotate enough for that. So I think they're going to be able to get across the line just based on their longevity in terms of throughout the season. They're going to be able to get the physicality out
Fair
of
enough.
that squad.
I just want a context. We're doing this on the 13th of August.
That's right.
So all the transfers and stuff haven't been completed. Obviously, the transfer window's still open. We want to caveat with that. But I actually have City in fourth.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think City's rebuild's still happening. I don't think the rebuild's complete. I don't know if Pep will sign an extension past next year because I think his contract's up at the end of 27, something like that. Maybe it was start of 27, his contract's up. I think he's buying players for the next manager. And I said this last time before he extended as well, but
You
the
did.
signings he's making don't make sense to me. I still don't think their back line is solid. I mean, they're playing Mateus Nunes at right back. I don't think that's solid. I think we haven't seen Foden take the reins. KDB's now gone. That's massive. That's an X factor, so to say. That's leaving your club. You know, that's a player that he might miss a couple games because of injury, but when he comes back, you're like, KDB's on. Like, he might do something.
Yeah.
Like, there was a game against Newcastle. He came on as a sub after missing a couple games. Scored one, assisted one, and they won that game. So I think that's big. I'm not sure how these signings they've made are going to integrate into the Premier League either. I mean, Reinders and Shaqiri are good players, no doubt about that. But we also thought the same for the other 5 they'd signed before. So we'll see. I've got them 4th.
I'd like to see that, to be honest.
I think this is going to be the lowest they'll ever get, though.
In recent times.
Yeah, recent times. I think they'll definitely bounce back the season after. I just think it's going to take a while, especially because they're losing Edison. They've signed Trafford as their one, but now they might be going in for Donnarumma. I just think their backline's not that strong. Might be losing Stones. Diaz doesn't look as good as he used to.
Possibly Akanji.
Possibly Akanji as well.
But they've got Abdul Qadir.
Yeah, Kusanov looks good, to be fair.
Kusanov does look good, yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, I think the first 6 weeks will be very telling for the big teams because all of them have fairly difficult starts.
Yes.
And most of them do play each other. I believe we play City within our first 6 games as well. That's our 4th.
There's some results there. Yeah.
All right.
Rex?
I feel like I agree with Alpi. I think City and Chelsea almost have incomplete spines, and for me, they're both defensive. Chelsea, they need a keeper upgrade, definitely, and a centre-back. You've got Caicedo in DM, you've got Palmer in 10, and you've got Pedro, who's been in insane form as a number 9. So
Take
those
the
3
lap
positions
off
are
the
good.
bench.
They're still missing 2, in my opinion. City, again, they made a lot of signings, but in my opinion, without Rodri especially, they're still going to leak a lot of goals at the back. So they kind of share a similar problem to Liverpool, where I feel like they're a little bit too top-heavy. For me, Chelsea, 3rd and 4th position, Chelsea City, it's interchangeable at this point for me.
Yeah, that's essentially, like, you guys covered quite a bit, and that's what I was saying. I thought Chelsea would finish 3rd when I interrupted Burks rudely. I generally had, like, sort of the same sort of thought. I think City and Chelsea are going to be between 3rd and 4th. I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to come down to a bit of the luck, obviously, with both of them in different competitions, a bit of injuries. Going to be picked
They're
up.
all in the same competition.
Yeah, I know. I just mean, like, obviously with Chelsea's ability to, you did say they're not going to rotate as much. I still think they've got enough to rotate compared to City. I feel like when City have a few injured players, I think they're impacted a bit more. Like with Rodri, that's out. He's not out for long, but a player like Rodri that gets out.
No, it's still
it-
pretty
Well,
decent.
he's out at the
That's-
moment.
Yeah,
he's
he's
out
out
till the
till
international
September,
break.
I think.
Yeah,
So-
so-
Do you know what I'll say? I don't think Arsenal and City will be affected by injuries like they were last season. I just can't see it happening 2 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
But also, João Pedro reminds me a lot of how Jesus came into Arsenal. You know how he just came in on
And
a
he just-
red hot
yeah,
form and he just
smashed
lit it up.
Just smashed
Yeah.
it. So, like I said, I think interchangeable City, Chelsea. Like I said, I think City 4th at this point. That's why, 3rd Chelsea for me. But
I think, like, we can probably skip the top 2 because I was going to say, I kind of agree now. It probably would be 3 and 4 City, Chelsea. Like, I agree with most of what you said. I still think Chelsea would crack top 4. City will probably come in at 3rd. But yeah, you guys have called it out pretty much. Like, there's something about City just doesn't feel.
Doesn't feel
as
solid.
They don't feel as threatening as they used to. You know what I mean?
No,
like
they feel
used to-
threatening. They don't feel as solid.
I don't know. I don't feel that though. Like I used to go into a game against City thinking they're gonna do something. Like they're gonna either
Mahrez.
destroy us. Like you came in with that feeling of you were almost defeated before the whistle was blown. Even you know what I mean. The last few seasons, I don't know if it's just Haaland coming into that team has changed things, or Rodri not being as stable, having the injury that he had last season as well, and then sort of KDB coming off his prime form, I guess, and sort of the injuries that he had in between. I don't know if that's all played into it, but they just don't feel like the City team that they were at the time when Klopp and Pep were going head to head. Like, it just doesn't feel as threatening. So I don't
feel
know.
like a lot of their players have sort of they've gone downhill very quickly.
They've fizzled a bit.
Like too many of them at the same time, like Silva, Bernardo Silva,
Yes. Yeah.
Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, and the replacements they've brought in are good and really good potential coming from other leagues, but it's hard to replace that quality, especially Kevin De Bruyne. Like,
Yeah, how you gonna find
what he
that?
does, especially, there's nobody else who can do what he does with the ball. Like, how do you replace that?
And now what? Bernardo Silva's their most senior player, I guess.
I
in the
don't
team.
remember thinking like this though when they replaced like David Silva and Aguero. Like I don't remember feeling like City had dropped off when they replaced
Instantly.
those players.
Yeah.
Because they replaced them with such quality. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know?
Fair to say that their style since then has changed as well.
Yeah.
They were more fluid back then.
I think
Now it's like so robotic.
a lot rides on Foden as well, man. If Foden has another season like he did last season,
Yes.
It's-
yeah. And now they're in for Rodrigo apparently.
So that
Yeah.
this is why I've got him as second.
Okay.
what, just
Okay.
because they might sign
No. I think you guys are missing the fact that Pep generally doesn't have 2 every season back to back. And I feel like the signings that they made have been quite smart in a sense where Randy's is a very, like, he's a very good player.
Absolutely.
Shirky is also a very good player. They've also added Aiton Nuri to their squad. Marmoush has another season in the Prem. I feel like Haaland, like we always, like, because he's so good and his figures are so good, it's like we don't mention how good he is sometimes.
I think. I
And
feel
then-
like watching Haaland, I feel like some teams have sort of not figured out
It's
how
not-
to play against him, but I feel like there's more of a blanket around him now in terms of we can do one thing to circumvent him banging in goals from
Like,
the way
even
he's
at
been
his
doing.
worst, he still can bang in goals, you know? And then, obviously, they still got a good defense. They go and add Rodrigo.
know if they
I
have
don't know
a
if
good
they have the best
defense,
defense, bro.
bro.
Yeah,
I didn't say the best defense, but they still have a good
I
defense.
don't
they
know if it's a
conceded
good
very. They
defense.
conceded very easily last year.
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
I think a lot of their protection's gone when Rodri's not there.
Yes.
I also think teams are having a lot more of a go now, whereas City sides of the past, there was this fear factor where
Yeah,
they would
100%.
not even cross the
That's what I'm
halfway
saying.
line.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
try.
100%.
Absolutely.
And
But they go and add Donnarumma,
But
and then
we
they go and
can't
add
judge it
Rodrigo.
off- We
Yeah.
can't
One
judge it
signing,
off
yeah.
ifs. You
Yeah.
know, like we can't base predictions on if they do
Generally-
this and if they
Like
do that.
generally, when there's talks with a club and it's here, Ornstein or
Ornstein hasn't reported anything about Rodrigo
Okay.
and City. It's just been fab.
But even then, like, if you're trying to base it off, the Donnarumma's coming in, like, I'm not saying this as a joke. This is like legit. Onana was coming in. He came off the back of a Champions League finals United. He's not paid off in any way. Like, he's not become
no,
the keeper that you guys
absolutely
saw.
not. He's made us worse.
And like, I feel like City signings too. Like, it doesn't feel like I feel like I don't feel like they've done business in a way that's like gonna progress the team. And these are players that are like going to be successors to the positions that they're coming into. It doesn't feel like they're going to be filling that role long term.
But I've also got a couple players coming from injury that were quite missed last season. Like Oscar Bob, I highly rate this kid. Gun. Yes, Rodri might be injured for the first, 6 weeks?
He's out for September. pretty much,
You
yeah.
know,
all right. Say he's out for 6 weeks, but they still got a good base. They got a good midfielder in, what's his name?
Nico Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
They wanted to get rid of
He's
him.
going. No, isn't he leaving for Girona or whatever?
They wanted to get rid of him.
They'll probably
I
get rid of
thought
him
it
now
was-
in January because
I thought it
with
was-
Rodri being out for 6 weeks.
yeah.
So
Look,
look, it's quite tight.
you can never
Honestly,
write 'em off.
oh look, you can never write him off. You can never write Pep off. I feel this is probably now going to give away my where I've positioned Liverpool. But I initially had Liverpool at 2, and then I had City at 3. But now that I think about it more and more, I feel like Liverpool definitely overachieved. Now they're past their honeymoon phase with a new manager, and they've signed so many players, and I'm not saying they're bad players. They've signed so many players that they will probably need a year or two for these players to gel
It's a fair
and to
take.
become a unit,
That's a fair take. Yeah.
like under Pep. And this is why obviously I've had them as third, because I feel like they will probably lose a lot of
So
points.
Liverpool's your third.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and that's not trying to cook anyone or anything like that. I just feel like
that's a fair
Yeah.
observation, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I wasn't sure with my second and third, to be honest. And for me, it was a toss-up between Chelsea and Liverpool. I do feel like this is very weird to say, but I feel like Chelsea is a little bit more settled in the fact that their players, how can I put this? They just feel a little bit more settled as a team. Like when I watch Chelsea, like the Club World Cup final and whatever, it just feels like the patterns of play, the fluidity, everything's sort of there. Whereas at the moment, when I'm watching Liverpool, we've spoken about this a lot, but going forward, it looks great. But then I see, like I said, Salah's isolated. He's not getting the ball. He touched the ball 23 times against Palace.
And you only had one shot on target after or whatever. it was.
Unheard of for Salah.
Yeah.
He's so pivotal to your attack. I looked at the goal you caught where Warden slipped the ball through. Frimpong was running to cover. Konate was static. Van Dijk was stepping out. And Kirkes was in between two players. Like, there's just no unison in that back line just yet. So I do think you guys are going to drop points early on. But I also thought you were going to drop points early on last season.
Yeah, correct.
With Slot coming in. So ultimately, we're all talking out of our ass.
Absolutely.
I have you guys third. Two reasons mainly.
Okay.
One, I don't think your team will gel immediately. And two, I think now the onus has changed from it being a Klopp team with tweaks to a Slot team take the reins plus Jota.
And
I think
Yeah.
that's big.
Jota's a big one,
Plus, you've. I feel like this too. You've won the league now. Now you've got that pressure on you.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are definitely favourites.
Because remember, every team that wins something in any league, any sport, whatever it is, you've got that pressure on. You're the team to beat.
Except Leicester.
Yeah, except
Well,
Leicester,
but like you're the team to beat.
you
like
guys are definitely favourites.
you're that team that everyone aims to bring down. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That happened with City, and
I think
it's gonna happen with any
3
other
and 4 is
team. So-
interchangeable, and 2 and 3 is interchangeable for
I think
me
the
as well.
entire
Thanks.
top four is honestly, you could. I mean, well, actually, no, that's not true.
No.
Top two, top three,
I
3 and
think
4,
it'll
and
be,
top 2 are interchangeable.
yeah, I think it'll be 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4. But I don't really have a real clear understanding of what's going to be in what position. These are just rough assumptions today.
I feel like when you asked us last year, right before you guys started the pod, I remember when you guys were doing this, you asked for our top fours and we texted them all to you. And I feel like it was a lot easier to think about back then
Yeah.
compared to this year. I feel like
Oh,
I'm struggling.
yeah,
I'm
100%.
struggling a lot more this year.
Absolutely.
To think about my
Yeah.
top
So
four.
many changes.
Because
agree.
I remember when you texted me, I was just like bang, 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 bang. But this year it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
So much
Vex, what do
happening.
you have?
What do I have? Good question.
Are we on two?
Definitely don't have us as
Yeah, well, I mean, we've established that everyone's roughly got City and
Or Chelsea,
Chelsea's third and fourth.
Yep.
Riyadh's got Liverpool. I've got a toss-up between Liverpool and City for third. Liverpool and
Yeah.
Chelsea, sorry, for third.
Yep.
Second, third.
Look, traditionally speaking, whenever there's a whole host of changes being made, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, it tends to not work out in the first season and the team's not that good. That's one thing to take. The second thing is Slot at Feyenoord did exactly the same thing. He completely gutted the team, remade it, reshaped it, and they were actually a lot better. So is there something that him and his coaching staff know in terms of their methodology, how to manage that sort of process well, where in the end the team actually gets better? Who knows? Based on watching the Premier League for 20 odd years plus, it usually doesn't tend to work when you make so many changes at once. So for me, I've put Liverpool as second. I think it'll finally be, if we're discussing number one, Arsenal's year, surely.
Has to be.
The only thing I'd like to see for Arsenal, because I know Alpi likes to talk about puzzle pieces a lot, is that left wing. I feel like if they made a really strong signing there, you're starting to look at a really sort of complete team where...
Especially now that Trossard has come out and said he wants to leave.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
because
I
for
didn't
me,
know
like,
As you said that.
I obviously like paid
News to me.
to watch... I paid to watch
Breaking
Arsenal
on
games.
OTB.
Even when Trossard came off Martinelli, he made an instant impact straight away. So I feel like the left wing is the only position that you really need to look at in order for this team to finally be ready to mount a proper title challenge. So I have Arsenal first because, again, you do have a lot of stability now. Yes, you've made additions, but I feel like you haven't made too many.
I think it's
which is
two
gonna detriment the
starters.
team. It's going to detriment the team. So for me, Arsenal, I think are going to win it, and I think because we've made so many changes, but we're still a quality team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're going to finish second.
Yeah.
But it could be City as well. So second and third interchangeable. I've got Arsenal as number one because finally you've got the
A
man,
striker.
the 9.
Yeah, oh, look, everyone said for years now, you guys have hammered me, Arsenal needs a striker, Arsenal needs a striker. Arsenal's now got their striker. So last season was honestly probably the hardest season for me to watch and be a part of in years. Like, I'm talking back to Emery and like the later years of Wenger. Like, it was just pain. Making excuses, coming up with reasons why things aren't working,
Pig mold,
referees,
this,
blah, blah,
that.
blah. You know what I mean?
Light bulbs.
Light bulbs, pig mold, this, that.
But it was hard trying to find the upside last season. I'm hoping if we can stay injury free, I do think we'll win the league.
First game, 2 minutes in, Rice red
Right.
card. Kicking the ball.
Yeah.
Top ends.
If nothing like that happens, and we've got a trifecta of Arsenal hating referees reffing the first game, Jared Gillett's on.
We've already started.
No, Jared Gillett's on VAR.
I saw this on.
Yeah.
I saw this on
like he's
Twitter
literally
already.
come
They're
out
already
as a
going on
Liverpool
this.
fan. The
They've
guy
already
is
started the
openly a
conspiracy.
Liverpool
He's like,
fan.
bro, I'm not gonna do it. But anyway, he's the
But it's gonna happen again.
Oh, you know that lizard meme where it's like lizard.
What?
It's like he's just going penalty, penalty, penalty,
I'm not saying
penalty.
I've never seen that one either.
What are you talking about?
But I also think this is the most external pressure there's ever been on Arsenal. to do
100%.
something.
Sure.
Like external, I mean from people outside the club.
I think
For sure.
internal too.
No, I don't think so.
I think.
I don't think so.
Do you think-
Genuinely not.
Do you mean by external fans as well? As in, like, is that external
I
to you?
think everything,
footballing world, basically.
everything, the footballing world
Okay.
as a whole, externally out of Arsenal, is going to heap the most pressure
for sure.
possible
This-
on
this is that
Arteta
year.
to win.
This
But I feel if in the first 5 or 6 game weeks the points tally doesn't look like what the Arsenal fans expect, I think they'll turn very quickly. I think it'll get very toxic
Possibly
very
this-
quickly.
This is a very touchy season.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure,
definitely.
for
and,
sure.
and our first 6 games are quite difficult, and I think they're going to be very telling of what Arsenal has become as a squad.
You got Liverpool, I think, game 3 or
Game
4.
Game 3, yeah, game 3.
United game 1, Liverpool game 3.
Yeah, so it's like
It's going,
it's like United, Leeds, and then Liverpool.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple others. There's City in there, and I think Newcastle's
It's
in
fair
there
to
as
say
well.
Amarim's in the same boat in terms of
Absolutely.
expectation and pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he'd be the only manager on par with Arteta, but maybe like a little bit below.
In terms of pressure, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Just external pressure.
Yeah.
Who do you have first?
we have Arsenal.
So we got Arsenal, you two?
Arsenal.
I said last season, obviously it was unsure what's going to happen to Liverpool given the managerial change, but this season I'm going to back my club and I'm going to say I reckon we can.
You know what, bro?
I reckon we
back
go
your
back to
club.
back.
Good on you. Honestly, good on you.
I reckon
bro.
we get back
it'd be
to back.
incredible if you do.
The level of creativity that we've brought into the team, obviously we've had some losses and like the freak loss of Jota, and obviously his passing is going to be a bit of an impact as well. But I think who we've brought in, and I have enough faith in Slot and his coaching staff that they'll be able to figure it out quite quickly. I don't think it's going to be as much of a teething period as sort of we might expect, given what he did last season and how he sort of transformed what he had to work with already. I think he's going to be able to do it as efficiently again. And the reason I would say I'm less confident in Arsenal this season is like, yes, you've made the signing, you've got your man, but I still think there's question marks around Gyökeres. I know his numbers, his output is incredible, but how can you replicate that in the Premier League? Like, it's still to be seen.
Naturally, I just think to counter that single point, he's not a player that you can leave one-on-one. So now they can't double and triple team Saka anymore, which is going to really help boost
Free him
his
up a
out.
bit,
Yeah,
yeah.
his output.
I mean, that's
as
what I mean. But it's all these different variables. But I think for me, like looking at it and just knowing the pressure that Arteta will be under too, and sort of how he navigates his patterns of play throughout the season, I don't know if it's going to be as optimal an output as Arsenal fans would want.
You know where the uncertainty is for me anyway? Number one, I haven't
in general,
really,
or?
just in general, like when I look at his style of play,
I think it changes. Though.
he just doesn't strike me as an Arsenal type striker. You know, Arsenal's usually like
Gyökeres?
Van Persie or Isaac. Like these are the profiles. Like
Yeah.
they've got everything. They're silky. They can finish left foot, right foot. He just seems to be like a pure finisher for me.
Battering
Look,
ground.
I can't
like
jump to
Haaland.
will that
conclusions,
work
yeah.
type thing. You know what I mean? In
Yeah.
a much better league as well.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, he's an ex-Coventry City striker that's then gone to and graduated to the Portuguese league, where he's done really well. But now he's in the best league in the world. It's like, how will he
Yeah,
transition that?
yeah, absolutely.
Because a lot of us are saying he's going to be like an instant success almost type thing.
Look, I'm not going to jump to conclusions with Gyökeres. Absolutely not.
Either way.
I feel like he's got the physical attributes to compete in the Prem. He's a solid boy, and he's quite quick, especially off the mark. So yeah, I'm not going to jump to conclusions.
Because out of
And I
Sesko,
genuinely hope
Gyökeres
he
and
does succeed.
XDK, one will flop. 100%.
Yeah.
I reckon 2 will flop.
Or 2.
I think like when I weighed up to like a Gyökeres, how he'd perform. Like obviously, a lot of people expecting he's going to do well as soon as he jumps in just because of his output. But then I just have the experience of having Nunes in at my club to base it off, to never expect anything as a certainty. And like that's why I've been so reserved with like Ekitike as well at the start. Obviously, I said a couple of weeks ago, I'm not 100% sure on whether he's going to make the return on his fee. So far, he looks promising, but I agree also. Like out of those 3 key strikers that have come in, there's going to be at least one that'll be like a definitive flop. I have a feeling it's going to be another like really bad purchase. But yeah, I'm saying first Liverpool.
The thing is, though, he might score just enough goals for Arsenal for them to win the league. And are they going to then look back on his tally and go, he was, not worth his... No, they're not.
No.
But
Oh, God knows.
I want to know what's your interpretation of flop.
I think, well, just
That's
again,
what I was getting to.
basing it off, like, if you're buying a striker, you expect goals. If they're not scoring goals, then they flopped. That's how I'd see it. Like, Nunez was like that. His output, all right, granted, his output wasn't like an Andy Carroll or like a Balotelli, whatever, but, he was not marginally, he was way better than they were in that sense, but he didn't live up to his price tag and for the role that he was coming into. Like, he was meant to be our first out-and-out striker in ages. Like, after having Firmino playing that false line, he was going to come in being that darting striker, and he didn't live up to it. And his output displayed that as well.
Yeah, I feel like we're also forgetting that these guys have signed a long-term contract. So even if, like, let's say in the first season, Gyökeres gets 12, but then the following gets 25, and then the season after that gets 28, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Players don't get that luxury anymore.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
get labelled something
They don't-
immediately.
yeah,
It's very
Yes.
quick now, yeah.
They're very toxic. It's very
It's-
toxic.
I don't
That's
know.
why
It's social media, I reckon.
When
Like,
the season starts, I'm deleting Twitter.
oof.
Yeah, but that's probably a great call.
Right.
I've never had Twitter, bro.
I've
I've never had
Riyadh.
and I've never had X, and for that particular reason. But
It's very toxic.
you can also argue the fact that a striker sometimes yes, goals are what a striker is bought for, but it's also the things that they do that like complement everyone around you. Like you holding back a defender,
Yeah, of course.
and then you playing like a one-touch ball to one of your wingers, or for instance, like a set piece, and you're at the back post, and you like header it and center it, and it's like there's a goal there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't like for me, an interpreter is someone that can like be effective even without scoring goals.
Absolutely no. That's not.
Well, I mean,
that's a given.
Giroud won a World Cup without scoring a goal.
Yeah, there you go.
But
So
also,
there
he's
are-
France's all-time
Look,
goal scorer as well. So.
There are definitely like, I guess you could put markers to determine if they're a flop or not.
Yeah.
In regards to goals, assists, stats,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. I think it's all just going to really come down to the team's playing style, how effective they are in that team.
Mm-hmm.
Do they live up to their hype that they're coming in with?
Yeah,
That's a big thing as well because
100%.
everyone's got an expectation. Ekitike's probably got the least expectation out of the three strikers that have been signed. I'd
The
say.
least hype, I would say.
least
Sorry?
probably
Expectation-
least hype, but there's definitely an expectation.
There's definitely
No,
expectation.
I'd say the least expectation.
I'd say the least hype. I agree with on
Salah's
that.
just come off a 40-goal season. The expectation is on Salah to do that again. Wirtz has come in as the most expensive
Yeah.
player in
Yeah,
Premier League
there's a
history.
lot more
There
around
is
him.
expectation
There's a
on
lot more
Wirtz
around
to,
him.
to produce.
Yeah.
Ekitike is a young striker that's come in.
No, absolutely.
But
But
it's
that's the
coming
thing.
for
That's why I said we bought it
85
for
mil.
potential because we clearly want Isaac.
For sure.
If
Yeah,
Isaac comes
for
in,
sure.
he's not going to be in the team. He's going to be second striker.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. Absolutely.
In my opinion, I think all the strikers that we've mentioned, I think they're all going to have a fantastic season. I think you guys have like pretty narrowed it down, like the top four. In my head, I think this is going to be one of the most fun title
100%, yeah.
races we've seen. I'm backing Liverpool to finish first and go back to back because you have to sort of back the signings we've made. Like in my head personally, I think it's going to be a tough slog. It's going to be one of the, I wouldn't say starting off a tight race. It'll end a very tight race in my head. I've got Arsenal running very hot at the start.
I don't.
I've actually got Arsenal running very hot at the start, and I think 1 and 2 between Liverpool and Arsenal will change a lot. I have a feeling that I really hope to see that a lot of these strikers like hit their stride well in the league, in the Premier League, because who doesn't want to see all these players banging goals, right?
Absolutely.
Like you want to see some strikers banging in goals, especially with the price tag they brought out, and especially there's so much slander on the Premier League nowadays. I feel like with these players talking like, oh, look where he went to the Premier League for this much money, and like he's flopped. You know what I mean? Like, and to go back to your argument, flopping, like it always seems to come down to the return on investment ratio. I feel like a lot of fans, a lot of the media, a lot of, oh, look, they've bought this guy for 120 mil. Has he lived up his 10 goals, 10, 15 goal contributions or 20 GA really living up to the hype? But it's like, mate, 20 goal contributions, like,
We're definitely skewed with
absolutely.
Ronaldo,
It's
Messi,
so, it's so
We're
skewed
definitely
nowadays.
skewed with
It's
Ronaldo,
so
Messi
skewed
numbers.
nowadays. And, like, not only that is skewed, but the pricing of these players is skewed too. I feel like the market is absolutely cooked. I have no idea
Who do you
what's going
blame?
on.
It's all because of Neymar.
Which player?
The Neymar transfer changed everything.
Right, like I don't think it's that. I think there's just a
Transfers
whole
over
heap of
time.
stuff.
Like if you look at the graph, it's just that.
It's
That's
just
all it is.
inflation.
But that's
too,
why
yeah.
I'm so happy with Gyökeres because we got him for 55 million
Yeah.
pounds.
And I
Guaranteed.
I didn't realize he was as old as he was. Though. He's 27.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well,
he's not
that's fine,
one of the younger
but
ones. Like
He's a
it's- yeah,
striker
he's a
that's come into the
striker, yeah.
prime seasons.
Yeah, he's in his
of
prime
It's the
years,
peak of his
yeah.
career,
Yeah,
essentially.
absolutely.
And like I said, I've got these two teams, Arsenal, Liverpool, 1 and 2. I'm backing Liverpool to go back to back again. But I think it'll be Arsenal off to a flyer. I think you guys will hit the ground running with these. Like you said, they're a bit more settled. There's a bit more pressure. But I don't know. I feel like as pressure builds, it can pop, and we've seen that with Arsenal a lot.
If we get a lead in the points tally, there's nothing in me saying that we can't handle it. Because I
Yeah.
mean, not last season, the season before, we went 16 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss in the
Exactly.
back 18 games of the season.
Exactly.
So I have no issue with us being able to carry through.
I don't
It
think
just depends if we can get a lead.
I don't think you'll flop by towards the end of the season at all. I just think it'll be one of those races where a team will get out. Maybe like Arsenal will be ahead of Liverpool, maybe 5-6 points. It won't be a big gap, and it'll just close down easily. I think towards the last 3-4 games of the season, I think it'll come down to the wire. I think Liverpool will go back to back, and I think Arsenal will finish second.
I hope you're wrong for my blood pressure. Boys, let's move it on. Let's talk. Let's do our relegated 3. You seem like you want to go.
I feel like it's pretty easy. Every year, it's like the two sides that come up goes
Burnley
straight
Leeds.
back down, and
Burnley
then there's
Leeds.
usually one Premier League surprise package, which for me will be West Ham. Because I feel
Okay.
like they never do anything. They just kind of lose
That's
players.
true.
Interesting.
Wow.
They've lost Kudus,
They've lost Kudus,
which
yeah.
is like a massive loss. They're really only looking at Bowen, who's any real kind of and
Fulkrug?
Paqueta.
Yeah, full crew.
I mean, Fulkrug has
Oh,
come
they
in,
got
hasn't
Fulkrug,
really
that's
done
right, yeah.
much. It's been out of favour. I don't know if it's due to quality, attitude, whatever, but
have you got Leeds, Burnley, or have you got Sunderland going down?
I would say Burnley. Burnley always tends to go straight back down.
Yep.
I think Sunderland will stay. They've made some half decent signings, although a bit on the aging side. Xhaka and Henderson.
It's what they need, though.
Um,
They need that Premier League stability.
Yeah.
Both players know the league.
So I reckon Sunderland stay up. Leeds and Burnley go down, and then West Ham. They're always kind of like teetering
That's wild.
in and around.
Interesting.
Well, I've got one of those 3 teams. I've got Burnley going down, but I've also got Wolves and Brentford going down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I actually agree. I actually had in my head Brentford. I had Brentford, Burnley going down, and I think Wolves aren't going to do too great this year as well. Brentford, particularly because Thomas Frank took his entire team.
Yeah, they lost their captain. They lost their striker,
Correct.
And
possibly Wissa
Wissa
as well.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to go through this weird period of like, okay, you've had your time in the sun, but I think it's like there's
It's time.
players that have left. There's a whole coaching staff that have left. I think it's their time to go down. That's if you want to expand on that, but
Yeah.
No, that's how I feel as well. I just think they've been picked apart now by the bigger teams,
Yeah.
and I don't think they're going to be able to maintain Premier League status. I think Sunderland is a Premier League team. Stadium of Light is a big stadium. You know, I think they're going to feel that week in, week out. They've made a lot of signings, but they've signed Premier League experience,
Yes.
which is great. Bit of youth in there as well. I think they'll be okay. And Leeds, I do like Leeds, and I think Wolves losing Cunha is quite big.
Yes, massive.
huge.
Not so much that Cunha was like anything really special. It was more so just. It was more so just he was their output machine, which
Red
they
is a good player, but don't worry, he's a good player. Red.
he was their output machine, which they've lost, and I don't think they've replaced him efficiently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably a fair call. Look,
Anyone got anything different?
I've got Leeds, I've got Burnley, and I've got Wolves. Only purely because they've lost their output machine. But at the same time, you can also argue Brentford, West Ham, they could all have a pretty bad season.
they did have pretty
And
bad seasons.
I've
last year.
also got Daniel Farke as the first manager to get sacked.
Oh, we're not up to
Okay,
that yet.
not up to
No,
that.
I thought-
okay.
I think
I
the
just thought I'd just,
the only difference
Jump the
I've got
gun and
compared
go.
to yours is just based on I know it's a completely different ball game jumping from Championship to the Premier League, but I feel like Burnley had an incredible defensive record last season. I believe
they've
it was.
lost Trafford.
Second.
They've
The
lost
keeper.
Trafford.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that
Yeah.
changes everything. I didn't
Trafford
think of
was
that.
big in that.
I would
What a
say
goose.
I agree. Brentford, I reckon, because they've just been gutted. So I'll say Brentford. I feel like this is like Figo was saying. It's their time in the sun is up.
Yeah,
They've flown a little bit too close to the sun, And I feel something tells me Sunderland is going to go back down. Like, I know it's been a long time coming, but I can see them going down again alongside Burnley. So I'm
Big
going
call.
to say
Very big
Burnley,
call.
Sunderland, and Brentford.
But that's the thing. The teams that do get promoted in the Prem, the chances of them getting relegated again are highly
Very high,
They are,
likely.
man. They are. And it's crazy because both Leeds and Burnley finished on 100 points.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, but we also haven't really seen a Prem with teams this week that have, like we said, Brentford's been picked apart. They're so weak compared to what they were.
Yeah.
Wolves have been picked
Wolves,
apart.
West Ham doesn't look
Yeah.
crash hot. Like, these teams don't look as good as they did in previous seasons either.
And obviously, like United and Spurs are probably going to do a bit better. They're not going to get relegated. So
Possibly.
I think that pushes the pecking order down a bit more.
Top playmaker and top goal scorer. What do you guys reckon?
Oh, let's go with Vicky on this one.
I've got Haaland.
I've got Haaland
I've got
too.
Haaland and Salah.
Really?
Yeah, I've
For
got
playmaker?
Yeah, Salah for assists. Yeah, playmaker.
I've got Bruno Fernandes,
Playmaker.
playmaker.
Wow.
I've got Wirtz.
I have Wirtz too. For playmaker, I have Wirtz. For
Really?
Sure. Yep. I reckon he's going to have a big impact this season.
No, I think he will, but I don't think Salah's going to reach the goals, but he probably do really well with assists.
But that's why I think Wirtz will do really well assist-wise because he's got more than one side.
Yeah,
He's
one
got
out,
options
more.
everywhere now ahead of him. Like runners everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Frimpong
true.
even too.
I've got Palmer
For what?
to finish the most assists. My playmaker.
Yeah, okay, assists, fair enough. I was going to say
Yeah.
he hasn't scored a goal in like
No,
6
no,
months.
not top goal scorer. But, for most assists, I think they've done well with Delap and Joao Pedro coming in, and I feel like
Pedro, yes, the lap.
I think Palmer's going to take more of that 10 place, and he's not going to go as forward as much. I think he's going to be that creator, like perfect 10. I think he's going to get a lot of assists on the board. That's my take, but yeah, hopefully
Goals?
Wirtz gets up there. My top goal scorer. You know what? I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be Gyökeres.
Really?
I really think
surprising
that
even to me.
Gyökeres is gonna bang him in.
Based on what?
I genuinely think that, like, not just based off his previous,
call
but
him
I
Buck Nine.
genuinely think. I mean, what I was saying before, if Arsenal and Liverpool are going to be in the top, like, the title race, right, 1 and 2, you're going to need their striker banging, and I think Gyökeres. I feel like
So you still haven't answered the question?
based on
He's just like,
what do you mean based on?
answer the question, bro.
I think-
Why do you think he will
I think he's the perfect striker for them. I think he's like,
define perfect striker?
bro, they've got enough. They've got enough.
The rest
Give me the answer, bro. Give me the answer.
Do you know what the perfect striker is, bro? You're a 9, you bang him in. You're known to bang him in. And I think that's what Haaland's done well over the last few years. And I think people looked at him as the best striker in the world purely because he banged them in.
So
and I
Haaland
think,
and Gyökeres are on the same level for you.
I don't think Haaland and Gyökeres are on the same level, but I think I think Gyökeres is going to be having a stellar year. I think he's going to keep Arsenal on top of the
Based on what,
Premier
though?
League. I've just told you, bro.
So, boys, who do you have as your breakthrough star?
Hold on, I haven't said my goal scorer.
Who was it?
I'm unsure, but I feel like it could be like. I don't think Salah's going to have the same output. He's not going to repeat it again. We've said this every season, and he somehow finds a way to do it. But I feel like genuinely this season is probably the one season where he's going to have a low output in terms of conversion rate. So I'm going to say probably Haaland, just based on the guy's not a bot, a
Based
robot.
on
He's
what?
just an android.
Yeah.
He's an android. He knows how to score. He knows how to find the net once it's left his boot. So
Based on what?
because he's an android.
I mean, for me, Haaland, Saka, Salah, take your pick. They'll just be rotate. I would say Isaac, but I know Isaac won't be playing regularly.
You might not have games to play.
Yeah, it's a fair take.
Hypothetically speaking, if Isaac was to sign for Liverpool, would your answers change?
Yes.
Yes, changes the balance
Yeah,
for
immediately.
sure.
And I'd have you guys winning the league.
It changes things dramatically. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But we don't live in a world of ifs, buts, and maybes.
Interestingly enough, is there a reason why no one's mentioned Pedro from Chelsea?
Oh, like I said, I just think he's going to run hot for a bit, but then it'll fizzle out.
Because he's never really
Yeah.
been prolific for Brighton
yeah,
anyway.
it'll fizzle out eventually.
I also think he's going to be rotated a lot with Delap. Like
Right.
it'll be like a 60-minute Pedro, Delap on the next, like in the second half, and I just think they're going to interchangeably start. And so I don't think he's going to get 90 minutes every single game to be up there in terms of goals. And I think the same for Delap as well. But
Yeah.
Who do you guys have as your overachieving club?
Ooh.
Overachieving.
You know what? This is just purely based on last season, even though I know they won a trophy as well, but Spurs almost got relegated. I would say, based on the signings they've made, I feel like they will overachieve this season.
See, I had, based on the signings they made, I had United as overachieving.
I have United as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I don't know
have
if they're up
United
to
as
level yet.
Okay.
But yeah, fair.
Can we ask that question minus United because of it was like a blip sort of year. They finished 15th. If it wasn't United, who would you think would be the most overachieving?
That gets a little bit trickier, to be honest, because then I could say Arsenal potentially if they win the league.
Because they're winning the league?
Yeah,
Okay.
and we haven't seen them win the league in 20-something years.
Fair.
That gets a little bit harder. I haven't really delved too much into the other squads and what they've done. We could have Sunderland as overachieving for staying in the league. Like there are options, but I think it would be either United or Spurs because jumping from 17 and 15th to like
Potentially top 6.
7, 8, it's quite good.
It's a massive improvement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm going to go with something different. The easy answers would be Spurs or United based on
Yeah.
last season, but I'm going to go with Everton. I think they do have some quality players in the back. I think Pickford's an okay keeper considering their table position. Tarkovsky is an incredible.
Trash.
I rate him.
It's
I don't mind Tarkovsky.
Yeah. They've just added Jack Grealish, who's a 100 mil player
Trash.
from City.
Oh, absolutely.
The only area for me where they could use some improvement is the striking department because I think Beto and Barry, they're not the best strikers. So if they can still get a striker in the window, I think they'll definitely overachieve.
You know what? I think these clubs like your Newcastles, Evertons and stuff, I reckon they should really push to get Hoyland. And they can get him for a pretty decent price.
This
He's
is
priced
United
at 40 mil.
propaganda.
You wouldn't be able to crack in the side.
It's United
This
propaganda.
guy's just fundraising for.
Yeah,
No,
literally.
no, I'm serious.
He's
Look,
running propaganda for United.
I've had my
Sounds like
my
an
thoughts
agent.
on Hoyland. I've had my thoughts on Hoyland, but I feel like he was signed to fail of what we had. But I reckon give him a thriving environment. I reckon he'll do well.
Yeah, with a 25 million pound signing fee, I'd take him.
Price at 40, bro.
Yeah,
no,
no one's
he's
paying.
I
No
have
one's
no
paying
doubt
40
that
for
he'd do
him.
well in a better environment, but I don't think he'd be someone that you could rely on week in, week out.
No, he's still
at
too
the
young.
Premier League
He's
level.
still too young.
Yeah,
that's all.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah.
I'm going to change my answer to Fulham.
I was gonna say Fulham,
Overachieving?
bro. I was gonna
But
say
they've
Fulham.
always-
They've
business
done
have
well.
they done though?
Oh,
Like, what have
can
they-
I to say why they're going to push these teams out? Maybe you'd agree. I feel like Crystal Palace have just might be losing some firepower.
Well, they finish 12th every year, so who cares?
Yeah, like, but I feel like the teams that finished I'm looking at the ladder now. With Fulham, if they maybe gain an extra 10 points, they're pushing like top 6.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. It's a lot of points. I know, but I feel like we've already discussed Brentford going to drop. They've already taken a place from them. I feel like we might all agree that Nottingham Forest might slightly drop.
Yep.
I feel like there's points there to be won in that, but in the
Bro, we haven't spoken about Bournemouth.
bro in the fifth,
They've just lost their centre back
Yes,
pairing.
They've
exactly.
lost their whole back line.
bro in the
Except
in the
Ainus.
And they didn't go and add any
Kirk,
reinforcement.
Cavani,
in the
Huijsen.
6th to 12th
But
region.
Aina's the only one left.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
Ainus left. No,
Yeah.
that's Forest.
I think in the 6th to
Forest?
12th
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry, I
ladder
always mix them up,
spots,
the
I
red
think
team.
Fulham is the one that
'Cause you don't
climbs
watch
in the
games.
6 to 12 spots because all those teams either losing firepower or they're just got running a bit stale. I think Fulham are the climbers. Like from where did they finish? They finished 11th, and they 10 extra points that gets them knocking on top 6. That's my opinion.
Interesting.
That's
Very
my
interesting.
overachiever.
Is that's everyone done, yeah?
Yeah,
My
overachiever.
no, I've already said that. But the player who I think is going to have a breakout year is going to be Patrick Dorgal for Man United.
Have we got to that yet?
Yeah, we
Okay,
have.
why not? Who cares?
Loves jumping the gun. This guy.
No, we did. We
Yeah,
won.
who cares? Whatever.
Yeah, Patrick Dorgal.
In what way?
In a way where now he's got so much more room because we got rid of Garnacho, who loves to obviously play as wide as possible, and then we've gone and signed 2 10s with Cunha and Mbuemo, who tend to like get drift.
So
into
this
the
is
centre.
your breakthrough star.
So I think this will be his breakout season, where he will like hit the highs of probably the best left fullback in the comp.
Well, so I had Rashford, but obviously he's
He's
left.
not there.
I've got Foden
What was that?
breaking through again.
I don't rate Kirkes either, bro. I saw him playing against Crystal Palace. Trash.
Oh my god.
You've got Foden.
Yeah, I've got Foden breaking through back into
Back into form.
something. It's just something more than
And then
last
being
season.
released 2 years later.
Just something more than last season. I think he'll do better than he did last season.
Bro.
I don't know what breakthrough. Honestly, I sat there thinking what breakthrough star means, and I'm like,
Just someone who has a ripper season, I think, and for that
But
reason,
it's someone you don't expect to have a ripper season. And
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you say someone.
I didn't think of it that way. I was going to say Wirtz, but
But I guess you could sort of say Verts because what do you expect?
What do you know
Wirtz?
from him in the Premier League? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Mohamed Kudus. I think he's been really, really good player at West Ham, even though maybe the numbers sometimes didn't reflect that. But at Spurs, he's got so many more players on kind of a similar wavelength and similar ability. So I think he may get a lot of sort of goal contribution. So I'm going to go for him. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see him play. I think Spurs overall as a side have gained some key players back from injuries. They're being linked with some pretty decent players, and they've obviously signed Polina from Munich.
Yeah,
and
that's a great sign.
a couple others. So yeah, I think Spurs are going to be.
He's a bit of a
half
statue.
decent.
I reckon he'll do well there. Like for Spurs, I reckon they've done a decent bit of business there.
I guess lastly, boys, we need to just say who we think our first manager sacked is going to be, and we'll just go around the table.
Sorry, I forgot to say mine. I reckon Elanga, but we'll move on.
Who do you have as the first manager getting sacked?
I've got Keith Andrews from Brentford. I think they're just going to have, like I said,
yeah.
I just don't think they're going to have too great of a season, and I think it's going to be very shaky. New guy on board. They're going to do a knee-jerk reaction. I think that because of how bad they're going to go, in my opinion, I think Keith Andrews gets a sack first from Brentford.
Who do you have, Burks? Anyone different? Do you know the managers outside of the top four?
I want to will this into existence. I would love to see Ruben Amorim get sacked. I want to say Amorim for that reason.
bro.
I want to see
I
it.
don't want to see that.
I genuinely don't think it'll happen.
I want to put it out into the world. You've heard it here first.
Manifestation.
Simba.
Look, I've gone. I've gone Daniel Farke. Brilliant championship manager.
That guy's voice kills
Lord
me, but hey,
Farquhar.
Yeah, Prem manager, not the greatest track record. And I also feel like if you're coming here to make some
Farke's
ridiculous
Leeds?
claims, I don't think Liverpool will beat United this season either.
Across both
games.
I feel like we're just looping back in, but let's get to the sacking first. Who's getting sacked, Becky? We'll get back to that.
Graham Potter.
Graham Potter.
Really?
No, that's not a bad shout. He's at West Ham.
Interesting. I'm going to skip. I'll come back to me.
What do you mean, bro?
I've got mine in song form.
Go for it.
Here we go. He's
You
going to
want
say
a box for you?
Nah.
He's going to say the.
He'll bring the glory days again. We'll back him from the Stratford end. He'll turn the Reds around. Ruben Amorim.
I was wondering where that was going. I liked it.
I don't think he'll get sacked first. I just wanted to, bit of fun. Nah, he's getting sacked.
He's on a cycle.
Do you guys truly think he's going to get sacked first?
I don't truly believe it. I just want it to happen.
I truly believe that you are very much overhyping what you've done.
Like, we've just gone and signed.
No, I don't think
We've just gone and spent some big bucks for him.
Yeah.
In his first ever full season.
Yeah,
Do you think we're going to go and sack him? Let's be realistic here.
I think if you guys don't perform, the toxicity from last season's just going to boil over to this season, and then it's just going to completely implode. And something will have to go. Like something will dramatically
Something
have to
will
change.
give way.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
I just love his charisma. I just love him as a character, and I hope we never sack him ever. Like, you know what? Even if we finish 15th again, just don't sack my boy.
Wow. Hey,
Don't sack him.
He
I'm
looks
gonna write this down,
He
bro.
looks like a Persian rug salesman.
But on a number one coach, don't sack.
is Egyptian cotton? How much you want to buy? I'll give you a good deal, brother.
That was a very good accent.
Persian, bro.
That's what I'm going for.
That is fantastic.
He genuinely sounds like he should be in the Istanbul Bazaar, like
Bro, that is
chasing
so
people,
good.
like brother discount. Yeah. Like
That is
You know
so
what I mean?
good. Who was your first? Sorry, we didn't even get to that.
for what?
Sacking.
He said Amorim.
Amorim.
Oh, actually, okay.
I can't wait till Amorim goes.
I think it'll be
to
Scott
open your mouth.
Parker.
Yeah.
I think it probably might happen. I think it might be Scott Parker. I think we've seen with Scott Parker that I think the Premier League's just a little bit too far for him.
That guy looks like a serial killer, bro.
Yeah, I don't think he'll change he won't change his style of play either. And I think it'll just... I think it'll be... Burnley won't do what they did with Company where they'll see out the season and go back down. I think they'll make a change if things aren't going right.
We've come back to Vicky now. Come on.
I can go for the easy answers because let's be honest, it's usually one of the promoted teams. They start doing pretty bad and then they make the choice pretty quickly. I'm going to go for a more interesting answer. I'm going to go with Nuno from Forest because I don't think he'll have a season as good or anywhere near it. And I think the relationship between him and the owner, who's is fractious already. They've had issues pre-season.
Who's this?
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest. And I think that owner's he's just toxic.
Do you
so I
reckon
think there could be
Marinakis-
issues there if they don't start doing as well as they have last season.
Do you reckon Marinakis just goes, I don't care about Nuno, I'm the manager now. Like I can see him putting himself in that top
He's
spot.
got that ego.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Do you reckon that'll happen at some point?
That
It's almost
player,
like it's-
that Morgan Gibbs White. Did you see him with that interview with the guy?
He's like holding a gun. He's like holding a gun. Tell the media you want to stay.
Tell them you want to stay, okay?
Right.
Tell them you
I've
love
never seen
Nottingham Forest.
anything like that before in my life.
It's wild.
Like, that was full blown just
Intimidation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
intimidation.
That was mob
literally.
tactics.
It was like
Like-
a hostage crisis situation.
You know in Simpsons, Smithers, with like they're holding the gun.
Yeah.
Like, I swear Morgan Gibbs White was like blinking heaps in that.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
He's like, blink if you need
We
help.
should get a body language expert to look at that. What's going on in the
No,
background?
that was full on. But,
That was very good.
That's a good shout there, Vex. I don't mind that.
Because
Good
Alanga's
answer.
gone and
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
destroy it.
that's our predictions done
Tell them you love
for the
Nottingham
season
Forest.
ahead. We might do like a mid-year predictions as well. But back to weekly episodes of the podcast. Exciting times.
Yeah, Ugi's
Can't
back in what, 2 weeks? 3 weeks? He's almost back at some point.
Actually, you know what? When he comes, he can sit side on because he's going to have such like a perfect
Yeah,
curvature
beautiful
on his nose.
Not even curvature, just
With that, no, he's going to have like that little point on his
He
nose.
doesn't look Persian.
Yeah. So-
He can do the accent.
he can sell the rugs in the market.
He's looking good though. I'm seeing his stories. He's got a nice
really
tan
invigorated,
going
yeah.
on.
He got
Yeah,
me
yeah.
very mad today. He kept sending me Snapchats of like he's by the
Finish?
pool or he's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
he's got like this tan on. He's got sunnies on. I'm like, bro, I'm looking outside the window of the office and it's like raining.
Stop replying to him.
I'm like this. Oogie, I'm gonna block you, bro.
Yeah, just stop replying to him like
It's
I am.
bad. I don't even reply. He just keeps sending it to me. I was like, what now? What now?
And it'll
Bro.
be interesting to see Oogs' predictions as well.
Yeah.
Can't wait for
we
the
haven't
weekend.
asked him.
Yeah.
I genuinely can't wait for the weekend to begin.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Off the Ball. We'll see you once the season kicks off.
Let's
Join
go.
our OTB league on fantasy football.
Yes.
Like, share all our content, and
There'll be
follow us
some
on
link out.
Instagram.
Yes.
The link will be in the comments. In the description of the video, and
It'll be on your screen right
He'll
now.
put the code, the FPL code, just here.
Yeah, I'm just going to do one of these.
There is a winner for the winner of. Sorry, there's a prize for the winner of the FPL league.
There will always be a winner.
Interesting.
Yes.
Won't be Amron. See you later.